What's up, everyone? Today we're diving into the origin story and how powerful Riri Williams is, who, also known as Ironheart, this teenage genius, is a young girl and MIT student. She became interested in technology from an early age on. While on MIT, she dared herself into a project that would change her life forever. And that brings us to the big question: why do you think Ironheart gets so much hate? Is it the way she was written, the comparisons to Iron Man, or something else entirely? So let's rewind a bit. Riri grew up in Chicago with her mom and her stepdad, who was basically the only dad she ever knew. Her biological father had been killed in a robbery when she was just a baby. Now, Riri didn't really connect with other kids her age. She was on a whole different wavelength. After a little testing, her parents discovered the truth. Riri was a certified genius. She didn't have many friends until she met Natalie. Natalie didn't just tolerate Riri's smarts, she celebrated them, reminding Riri it was okay to just be a kid sometimes. But tragedy struck when Riri was only 13. During a community picnic, a drive-by shooting claimed the lives of both Natalie and Riri's stepdad, who had tried to shield the girls. Heartbroken, Riri threw herself back into her world of inventions, and she started asking herself, what if I could build something to protect the people I love? What if I could be like Iron Man? Her chance came when she scored a full scholarship to MIT at just 15 years old. Now here's the wild part. Riri didn't just study engineering, she started secretly building her own armor. And to do it, she borrowed spare parts and tech right from MIT's labs. Yes, she was literally reverse engineering an Iron Man suit on campus. When her prototype was ready, Riri took it out for a test flight. On her maiden voyage, she even stopped a runaway truck. But the suit took heavy damage in the process, and her little stunt didn't exactly make her popular with MIT security. With her armor exposed and her cover blown, she headed back home to Chicago. Now, her mom wasn't thrilled with her genius daughter's plan to drop out and risk her life as a teenage superhero. But word of her homemade mech suit eventually reached Tony Stark himself. And you know Tony couldn't resist checking it out. Impressed, he decided to mentor Riri, guiding her through the highs and lows of hero life. When Tony went down after Civil War II, Riri stepped up, with a little help from a special AI copy of Tony's mind he left behind. That AI trained her, helped her refine her suit, and even gave her a code name, Ironheart. From there, Riri was thrown straight into the superhero deep end, battling villains, teaming up with the champions alongside Ms. Marvel, Nova, Miles Morales, and more, while also carving her own path. She even built her own AI named Natalie, inspired by the memory of her best friend. Through it all, Riri has stayed true to her heart, brilliant, determined, and always ready to push herself further. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps out the channel. Thanks for your support. When it comes to armored heroes in the MCU, Tony Stark has always been the gold standard. His miniaturized arc reactor was the heart of every Iron Man suit, and for over a decade, no one on Earth could match the genius behind his designs. By the time of Infinity War and Endgame, Tony had pushed his tech so far that his nanotech armor was practically alive, able to repair itself, adapt mid-fight, and go toe-to-toe with gods and aliens. But then comes Riri Williams, a teenager, no billionaire resources, no army of labs, just her brain, her drive, and whatever parts she could get her hands on. Her Mark I suit was rough, clunky, and patched together from stolen MIT tech. Yet it ran on a fully functioning arc reactor she built herself. Think about that. The one thing Tony Stark himself always guarded as his crown jewel, Riri cracked on her own before she was even old enough to legally drive. Then came Wakanda and the Mark II. With vibranium woven into her design, Riri's armor became more than just a copy of Tony's. It was something else entirely. Where Tony's nanotech gave him adaptability, Riri's vibranium gave her near indestructibility, the kind of resilience even Stark's best alloys couldn't reach. Suddenly, it wasn't crazy to ask, could Ironheart's suit rival Iron Man's best? Of course, the story doesn't stop there. After leaving Wakanda, Riri built new armors back at MIT and in Chicago, Mark III, Mark IV. Without vibranium, they couldn't quite measure up to her Wakandan design, but her genius kept them competitive. She was holding her own in the big leagues, even without Stark's endless funding. And then, the curveball no one saw coming. Magic. To counter the Hood, Riri fused her technology with mystical energy, and later cut a deal with Mephisto himself. Suddenly, her armor wasn't just tech anymore. It was something Stark never even touched, a hybrid of science and sorcery. Where Tony solved equations, Riri was bending the rules of reality itself. So how powerful is Ironheart's armor? In raw, proven combat feats, Iron Man still takes the crown. Tony stood against Ironmonger, Whiplash, Killian, Thanos, and saved the world more times than anyone can count. But in terms of potential, where this could go, Riri has already surpassed him in ways he never imagined. Vibranium, magic. Innovation born not from wealth, but from necessity. Right now, the title of strongest armor still belongs to Iron Man. But if